There is so much we can learn from this problem. It appears to be a simple problem. We are supposed to find the resistance between X and Y. But I've seen so many students make mistakes and they choose the answer to be 2 ohms. They think, well, 2 ohms is the resistance that's connected between X and Y, so we should go with 2 ohms. But that's a wrong answer. In today's video, we'll understand why it's wrong and how we'll find the total resistance between X and Y. Before we jump in and find the resistance between X and Y, let's focus on a simpler circuit. The circuit is we have a 2 ohm resistor and it's connected directly between points X and Y. No other extra resistors are connected. So if I connect this with a cell, the cell is going to send current through the circuit, correct? And what does resistance measure? Resistance measures how difficult it is for the current to flow. In this specific case, the resistance, if this is 2 ohms, the resistance is going to be 2 ohms. Now what would happen if I connect another resistance on top of the 2 ohm resistor? Let's say this resistor is 2 ohms as well. Will the current increase or decrease that flows from the battery? What do you think? Well, since there are 2 paths for the current to flow, path 1 through the lower resistance and another path through the upper resistance. So it's easier for the current to flow. You have made 2 paths. That means the resistance should decrease. In fact, these 2 resistors are in parallel. And how would we find the total resistance when resistors are in parallel? We use the parallel formula. What's the parallel formula? The parallel formula is 1 over the total resistance, also known as the equivalent resistance, equals 1 over R1 plus 1 over R2. What's R1 and R2? They're both 2 ohms. So if you use this equation and substitute 2 ohms, you'll end up with the total resistance being equal to 1 ohm. That's what we would expect. It's easier for the current to flow in a circuit which has more paths. So the total resistance here is 1 ohm. Now let's take this understanding of this circuit and apply it to the original circuit that we had. Say we connect a cell over here. This cell can send current through the 2 ohm and that current returns back. It also has another path to flow through, the 2 3 ohm resistors. So if this is a current, it can flow through the 2 ohm resistor and it can flow through the upper branch and return back to the cell. Immediately, we should know that the total resistance between X and Y should be less than 2 ohms. Alright, so if you go back to our problem, we notice that it cannot be 6 ohms, it cannot be 8 ohms. It has to be less than 2, so it's either 1.5 ohms or 1.9 ohms. But how do we find which one exactly? If you focus on this path of the current, when current flows through the 3 ohm, it enters the other 3 ohm resistor over here. And when the same current flows through 2 resistors, the 2 resistors are said to be in series. That means we can combine this 3 ohm resistor and this 3 ohm resistor together as a series combination. And what would be the total resistance? In series, you just add the 2 resistors up. It would be 3 ohms and 3 ohms over here. So this block can be replaced with one resistance of 6 ohms. Alright, let's redraw that circuit. We have a 2 ohm resistor and it's connected with a 6 ohm resistor. This is 6 ohms and we also have a battery. Now what's the total resistance between these 2 points? Once again, it's not 2 ohms. The current has 2 choices to flow through. So the resistance is less than 2. You need to take into account what's going on in the other branch. In fact, the 6 ohm and the 2 ohm resistor, they are in parallel. To find the total sum, you need to use the parallel formula. What's the parallel formula? It's the one that we discussed earlier, which is 1 over the total resistance is 1 over R1 and 1 over R2. With some algebra, you'll find out that the equivalent resistance is 1.5 ohms. And that solves this problem. I hope you found this video helpful. I'll see you in the next one.